Most people think of a credit score as just some number you need for a loan. But really, it's your financial report card. And a great one can literally save you thousands of dollars. So today, we're going to break down the exact playbook that takes you from being a financial ghost to a 750 score, and we're talking in just 8 months. So why should you even care about being credit invisible? Well, because it costs you. It costs you real money. I'm talking about getting flat out denied for an apartment because the landlord can't run your credit. Or, you try to buy a car and the only quote you get is some insulting, super high interest offer. In the eyes of a lender, if you have no credit, you're a complete unknown, a total risk. Having no history isn't neutral. It's actually an expensive place to be. Okay, so to win the game, you gotta know the rules, right? Your credit score is basically built on these 5 things. But look closer. 2 of them, your payment history and the amounts you owe, they make up a whopping 65% of your entire score. So we're going to focus on absolutely mastering those 2, because that's where you're going to see the fastest results. Think of this as our roadmap for the journey. All right, phase 1. This is all about what you do in your first 2 months. The goal here is simple. Go from being a complete non-entity in the financial system to actually having a credit file. I mean, you can't build a score if there's nothing for them to score, right? These first couple of steps are absolutely crucial. So our strategy here is a powerful 3-part combo. You don't just do one of these, you layer them for the best effect. First, you're going to get a secured card to build your own history. Second, you become an authorized user to kind of piggyback on someone else's good history. And third, you get a credit builder loan to show you can handle different kinds of debt. It's a really strong opening move. Let's be crystal clear on our main tool here, the secured card. This is not a debit card. How it works is you put down a cash deposit, let's say $300, and that $300 becomes your credit limit. You're giving the bank collateral, which basically removes all their risk, and that makes them willing to give you a shot. The unsecured card, that's the end goal. That's when they trust you enough to lend you their money without needing a deposit first. Okay, let's jump into phase 2. This is where things get really interesting. We're going to focus on something called credit utilization. Now, if payment history is all about being consistent, utilization is all about control. Seriously, mastering this one concept is the single fastest way to see your score jump, like dramatically, in a really short amount of time. So what even is it? It's just the percentage of your total available credit that you're using at any given moment. For example, if you have a $500 credit limit and you've spent $50, your utilization is 10%. Super simple. The credit bureaus look at this number as a big clue for how much you rely on borrowed money. Now, the standard advice you'll hear everywhere is to keep your utilization below 30%. And yeah, that's a decent rule. It's the absolute maximum. If you go over 30%, it sends a signal to lenders that you might be financially stressed, and your score is definitely going to take a hit. Think of 30% as the red line you just do not cross. But come on, we're not aiming for decent. We're aiming for excellent. The real goal, the one for rapid growth, is to keep your utilization under 10%. This tells lenders that you have credit available, but you don't need to use it, that you are in complete control of your finances. This is what separates the good scores from the great ones. And here it is, the pro-level trick. You actually don't want 0% utilization. Why? Because then it kind of looks like you're not using the card at all. The real sweet spot is letting a tiny, tiny balance get reported. Think 1 or 2%. Buy a pack of gum, let that $2 balance show up on the statement, and then pay it off right away. It shows activity and responsibility, and it totally maximizes your score. And you want to know the best part about all this? Utilization has no memory. It's like a financial get-out-of-jail-free card. If you mess up and have a crazy 50% utilization one month, yeah, your score will drop. But as soon as you pay it down and report a 5% balance the next month, your score will shoot right back up. It's not a permanent stain, which means you can fix it anytime. Okay, on to phase 3. We have laid the foundation, we have mastered utilization. Now it's about playing the long game. This phase is all about showing financial maturity, growing your credit history, getting rewarded for all your good behavior, and being smart about adding any new credit. And look, this isn't just some theory. This is the actual progression that this playbook gets you. Just look at that climb. You go from 0 to the 500s in just 2 months, simply by getting on the board. Then you hit the mid 600s by month 4 by mastering utilization. You cross that magical 700 good credit line at month 6. And finally, you land at a fantastic 750 by month 8. This system flat out works. So the first major milestone you're working toward is what we call graduating. After about 6 to 8 months of perfect payments and keeping your utilization low, your bank is going to review your account. And if they like what they see, they'll convert your secured card to a regular, unsecured one. They'll refund your deposit, and oftentimes they'll give you a huge credit limit increase. It's basically their way of saying, okay, we trust you now. But hey, a quick word of caution, don't get trigger happy. Once your score starts climbing, it is so tempting to apply for every cool card offer you see. Don't do it. Every single application is a hard inquiry on your report. 1 or 2 are fine, but applying for 5 cards in a month makes you look desperate for cash. They call it credit needy, and that is a massive red flag for lenders. Be patient. Be strategic. So you did it. You hit 750. Amazing. But how do you keep it? Well, it all comes down to turning those short-term tactics into lifelong habits. These are the non-negotiables, the things you have to do to keep an excellent credit score forever.
Let's just boil it all down. Number 1, always pay your statement balance in full. Set up auto pay, no excuses. This protects that massive 35% chunk of your score. 2, keep your utilization under 10%. We've already covered why that is so powerful. 3, never ever close your oldest credit card, especially if it doesn't have an annual fee. That card is the anchor for your credit history length. And 4, be patient. A great credit score isn't built overnight, but it is absolutely built with consistency.
So there you have it. We've laid out the entire playbook, from the very first step to the finish line. The system is proven to work. The only variable left in this whole equation is you. So the real question isn't whether this works. It does. It's what is the very first step you are going to take today to start your journey.